This video was made in collaboration with the Avatar Wiki. If you'd like to learn more, check out the link in the description. The Life of Tarrlok. Tarrlok was the last representative for the Northern Water Tribe on the United Republic Council and also served as its chairman. He was an ambitious politician, considered fair-minded and likable by the general public. However, behind closed doors, he was a manipulative man who held a long-standing rivalry with Councilman Tenzin. Tarrlok sought to fight the anti-bending revolution with violence rather than peaceful negotiation. He was willing to go to extreme lengths to win the conflict against the Equalists, even if it meant fanning the flames of aggression and risking the lives of innocent people. Welcome to the Amagi. In today's video, we're going over the life of Tarrlok. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. Early life. Tarrlok was born in the Northern Tribe in 133 AG to Yukon, a fugitive from Republic City, and his wife, becoming the younger brother to Noatak by 3 years. Together, the family lived peacefully within the Northern Water Tribe. However, as he grew older, Tarrlok and his brother discovered they were waterbenders, and Yukon commenced their brutal training. Much to his father's frustration, Tarrlok was not a prodigy like his brother, and was thus frequently the subject of Yukon's outbursts of rage. At the age of 7, Tarrlok, along with Noatak, left on a supposed hunting trip with their father, far away from their home, during which Yukon revealed his true identity as the notorious former crime boss of Republic City and a once powerful bloodbender. From that moment on, Yukon included lessons in the art of bloodbending during every full moon, intending to mold his sons into bloodbenders of the highest caliber to exact his revenge on the Avatar. After 4 years of harsh training, consisting mainly of bloodbending animals under the full moon, Tarrlok and his brother learned how to use the illegal technique without the need of a full moon. They were forced to practice constantly, much to Tarrlok's discontent, who did not have the cold heart required to manipulate helpless animals against their will. Intent on pushing his sons to extremes, Yukon eventually ordered the brothers to bloodbend each other. Noatak obeyed without hesitation, subduing Tarrlok into a painful state of submission. However, when ordered to do the same to his brother, Tarrlok refused, stating that being bloodbent felt awful. He voiced his lack of desire to cause anyone to have to endure the same, and denounced his bloodbending abilities in front of his father. Enraged, Yukon leashed out at his youngest son, naming him a weakling, though before he could physically attack him, Noatak interfered and subdued him. He tried to persuade Tarrlok to run away with him and start a new life, together away from Yukon and his plans for them, but the younger brother refused, unwilling to abandon their mother. Noatak called him a coward and executed his impromptu plan and fled into the blizzard. Tarrlok called after him to no avail. Together with his father, Tarrlok searched the surrounding barren tundra for days to locate any sign of his brother, but eventually gave up, assuming that Noatak had perished in the storm. After the loss of his older son, Yukon stopped seeking revenge against the Avatar and halted Tarrlok's training altogether. Tarrlok eventually moved to Republic City, and having learned from his criminal father's mistakes, he ascended through the government, eventually becoming the Northern Water Tribe representative in the United Republic Council and the chairman of said council. Tarrlok managed to conceal the truth about his parentage, and through charismatic politics coupled with the fierce stance against the Equalists, maneuvered him in position to be Republic City's savior. The Task Force. After learning the danger Amon really posed, the United Republic Council held a meeting during which Tarrlok proposed to assemble a task force whose sole mission would be to fight Amon and bring him to justice. Tenzin immediately dismissed this idea, asserting that such an aggressive strategy would only worsen the relations between benders and non-benders, and he claimed it was merely a ploy to grant Tarrlok more power. However, after volunteering to command the task force himself, and strategically pointing out that all benders, even the friends or families of the other council members, would be in danger because of the Equalist threat, Tarrlok succeeded in convincing the rest of the council to approve his idea, much to the dismay of Tenzin. Tarrlok later interrupted Korra, Tenzin, and his family's dinner on Air Temple Island. The airbender emphasized the lack of respect shown by the councilman, but Tarrlok countered by stating that airbenders never turn away a hungry guest, convincing Tenzin to tolerate his stay, albeit reluctantly. Tarrlok saluted Korra, expressing his pleasure at finally meeting her. He introduced himself as the representative of the Northern Water Tribe in the council and sat down. He was immediately interrogated by WIKI, who asked him why he had 3 ponytails and smelled like a lady, finally declaring him weird, which he answered with a look of contempt and a reference to her precociousness. Tarrlok complimented Korra for her initiative during the Equalist rally and began explaining to her that Republic City was better after her arrival, but Tenzin interrupted him, asking Tarrlok to stop with the flattery and reveal the real reason of his visit. To the surprise of Korra and her airbending master, he asked the Avatar to join his task force to oppose Amon, as he needed someone fearless in the face of danger at his side. Korra declined his offer, stating that she only came to Republic City to master airbending. Tarrlok, surprised by her answer, tried to insist, but Tenzin cut him short, affirming that Korra had already made her decision and he should leave. The councilman did so, but added that he had not given up before leaving the temple. Over the following days, Tarrlok began sending a series of increasingly lavish gifts to Korra, mediated by a council page, in order to persuade her to reconsider and convince her to accept his invitation. The presents themselves ranged from a basket of gifts to a luxurious Sato-mobile. However, the Avatar did not change her mind. The councilman decided to invite Korra to a gala he would throw in her honor at City Hall. During the party, Tarrlok led the Avatar to some journalists who began coercing her about Amon, the Equalist revolution, and her refusal to participate in the mission. Korra, upset about their accusations about her backing away and being afraid of Amon, finally announced that she would cooperate with Tarrlok and his task force. At City Hall, Tarrlok explained the first mission to a group of assembled waterbenders and earthbenders, and Korra, a raid on an underground chi blocker training camp located in the cellar of a bookstore in the Dragon Flats borough. Led by the councilman, the group broke into the store and started fighting. Tarrlok saved Korra when she was being attacked by two Equalists, freezing one of them against the wall. After defeating all the chi blockers, the task force arrested them in the presence of journalists. At a press conference, Tarrlok announced the success of the raid and said that Republic City had nothing to fear with himself and the Avatar leading the charge. At the question of a reporter about their leader still being free, the Avatar publicly challenged Amon to a duel that night on Aang Memorial Island. Later, when Korra was about to set out to the location they agreed upon, Tarrlok, at Tenzin's accusation to have caused this, claimed to have talked to Korra about her decision, but she had already made up her mind. After the Avatar left, the councilman informed Tenzin that he was going to be watching the island closely and that if something went wrong, he had a fleet of police airships ready to swoop down and help accordingly. The Pro-Bending Tournament. When Amon threatened the council with severe consequences if the Pro-Bending Tournament was not cancelled, Tarrlok and the rest of the council unanimously agreed to shut down the Pro-Bending arena, much to the disappointment of the Fire Ferrets. However, as he was about to declare the decision as final, Chief Lin Beifong of the Metal-Bending Police Force entered the meeting and demanded the council show backbone. She offered to provide extra security during the match if the council agreed to keep the arena open. Tarrlok and the rest of the council, except Tenzin, accepted this agreement and the match continued on as planned. Following the Equalists' successful attack on the Pro-Bending arena, Tarrlok was quick to call a press conference during which he placed the blame for the arena's destruction in Lin Beifong's hands. Pointing out that she had failed to protect the city, he stated that the police force required new leadership in order to survive the dire times coming their way. Increasing influence and treachery. Chief Beifong's resignation allowed Tarrlok to increase his influence through Saikan's institution as the new chief of police. With the conclusion of the Pro-Bending tournament, Tarrlok offered Korra the opportunity to rejoin his task force, manipulatively reminding her that she had not yet mastered the art of airbending. Korra adamantly refused, suspicious about him and his burgeoning influence over Republic City. In response, Tarrlok warned her that if she did not change her mind, she should stay out of his way. During a prison breakout instigated by the Equalists, Team Avatar successfully prevented the convicts from escaping. Tarrlok and his task force arrived immediately after the Equalists, and the escapees were taken into custody by Korra and her friends. He reprimanded the team about their seemingly illegal actions, and warned them to stop interfering. At the next council meeting, Tarrlok proposed a new law that would establish a curfew on all non-benders and outlaw any association with the Equalists. The law went into effect with relative ease, as Tenzin was the only dissenting vote. Tarrlok launched a false flag operation that cut off the power to many non-benders, which only angered them, sparking a protest against him and the police in the Dragon Flats borough. Upon Korra's arrival, the denizens pleaded with her to stop Tarrlok's actions, reminding her that she was their avatar as well. Korra demanded Tarrlok to stop oppressing the non-benders, but he refused, arresting Asami on charges of being a non-bender out past curfew and the daughter of a notorious Equalist. Tarrlok arrested Mako and Bolin for resisting, and warned Korra that if she attacked, she would join her friends in prison. Korra visited the traitorous councilman's office that same night to see if there was a way to intimidate him into compliance and force him to free her friends. Tarrlok reminded her that what she was doing was similar to what the Equalists claimed the Benders were doing, using their powers to oppress others. He also pointed out that he and Korra were similar in that they both went to extreme measures in order to get what they wanted. Korra denied their similarity. Tarrlok made Korra an offer that if she fell in line and did what he said, he would release her friends. Realizing that was why he had arrested them, Korra refused and accused Tarrlok of being just as bad as Amon. Upon hearing this, Tarrlok lashed out at Korra using his waterbending, starting a duel. The battle was relatively evenly fought, until Tarrlok appeared to have been defeated when Korra used the earthen wall behind his desk to slam him down to the councilman's meeting room, leaving him without a source of water. As Korra prepared to finish off the duel with 2 fire blasts, Tarrlok revealed himself to be a bloodbender, using the art on Korra to prevent his defeat at her hands. He used the skill without the aid of the full moon, much to Korra's surprise. Tarrlok replied by saying that there were many more things she did not know about him, and afterward threw Korra into the back of a police car and told her that she would be taken to a place where she would never be found. Fall from power. Tarrlok drove Korra to a cabin in the mountains outside of Republic City and locked her in a metal cage within the basement. In an attempt to cover his tracks, he quickly returned to City Hall and wrapped an Equalist bola around a column and laid out other evidence to make it appear that the Equalists had attacked the building and captured the Avatar. He also used an electrified glove to shock himself to strengthen this charade. After the arrival of Councilman Tenzin, Tarrlok told him about the Equalist attack and ordered Saikan to deploy the entire metal-bending police force to search for Korra. After a raid on a secret Equalist factory, Lin Beifong, Tenzin, and the rest of Team Avatar discovered that Tarrlok had lied about Korra's abduction by the terrorist organization, so they proceeded to confront the councilman at City Hall. After denying allegations of kidnapping Korra, his page revealed to the group that he had witnessed Tarrlok capturing the Avatar and locking her in the back of a Satomobile. Tarrlok feverishly denied this and scolded him, but the page revealed that the councilman was a bloodbender. Tenzin and Lin took up fighting stances and told him to give up. Having no other options, Tarrlok incapacitated all of his accusers with bloodbending and fled the scene. He returned to his hideout and grumbled that all his plans were ruined. Korra guessed that his bloodbending secret was out and told him that she realized that he was Yakon's son. Tarrlok did not deny it, and stated that he wanted to win Republic City by becoming its savior, rather than through its criminal underbelly like his father. After blaming Korra for his downfall, he planned on starting up somewhere else and assuming a new identity like his father, using her as his hostage. Before Tarrlok could leave, he was confronted by Amon, the lieutenant, and some chi blockers. The councilman attempted to bloodbend them all, successfully subduing all but Amon himself. He was shocked to see Amon was only slightly affected by his powerful bending. Subsequently, the Equalist leader removed Tarrlok's bending and threw him into the back of a truck. Revealing the past. 4 days after the Equalist takeover of Republic City, Korra and Mako entered an attic on Air Temple Island, planning to hide there until they could confront Amon, but instead found an incarcerated Tarrlok. He explained that he was the only prisoner on the island because he was Amon's brother. Mako inquired at how he knew this. He explained that he recognized the sensation when the revolutionary leader had removed his bending, later realizing that it was his brother's bloodbending grip. After explaining his childhood in great detail, including how he had acted exactly like his father, and he added that he had never encountered a bender as strong as Noatak, Tarrlok urged Korra and Mako to put an end to this sad story, and also offered a sincere apology to the Avatar for everything he had put her through. Korra felt compelled to release Tarrlok, but the former councilman decided against it, affirming that Amon could not know that they spoke with each other. Death. After his outing as a bender, Amon freed Tarrlok from his prison on Air Temple Island, and the brothers escaped Republic City on a speedboat through the Mosi Sea. Together again, Amon proclaimed joyfully that with the two of them reunited, there was nothing they could not accomplish. When Tarrlok referred to Amon by his true name, Noatak, the older brother admitted that he had almost forgotten the sound of it. As Amon navigated, Tarrlok sat at the back of the boat and noticed it was filled with Equalist gear and weapons. Realizing the madness would never end, he picked up one of the electrified gloves and slipped it on, before leveling it over the motorboat's fuel tank after removing the gas cap. He mentioned that everything would be just like the good old days, reiterating a statement made earlier by his brother. Looking ahead, Amon shed a single tear before Tarrlok ignited the fuel tank behind him, killing them both in the resulting explosion. Did you enjoy our video? Be sure to check out these other great videos from the Amagi, and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.